Sully was directed by Clint Eastwood. And it stars Tom Hanks. Don't worry, I'm not going to do that anymore. This is the true story of the Miracle on the Hudson, a pilot who landed an airplane on the Hudson River when his engines failed. It's a retelling of that event as well as the aftermath of it when people started to doubt whether or not he actually could have made it to the runway. Did he endanger these people's lives by landing on the Hudson River, or could he have made it back to the airport? The public and media scrutiny that develops around this man as well as how he deals with it in his personal life. I was looking forward to this movie because, it's a Clint Eastwood directed movie starring Tom Hanks. Anytime Tom Hanks is in a movie, I want to see it because he is one of the best working actors ever. He's been around my entire life. My entire life has been Tom Hanks. He's awesome. If you don't at least slightly appreciate Tom Hanks as an actor, I really don't understand that. Eastwood as an actor, I love in basically everything. As a director, he has hits and misses. He likes to make very desaturated movies that look very blue or very gray, and sometimes they can get a little overlong and the pacing can drag. I think he actually may have realized that because Sully is one of his shortest films, and I like this movie. Tom Hanks was excellent, and it's kind of a cliche to say that. Tom Hanks was really good in this movie, guys. Wow, I didn't expect that. What a shock! I said it, he's one of the greatest working actors. When you go into a movie with Tom Hanks in the role, you know that you're at least going to get a good performance, but he is great in this film. Very subdued. Nothing about his performance shouts, "Look at me, I'm an actor, give me an Oscar right now." He's the kind of actor that is so famous that he can kind of sit back and be almost minimalistic in his performance, and it still works. Aaron Eckhart was also a great presence as the co-pilot who was there on this day. I really liked him in this movie. Also, Anna Gunn from Breaking Bad. She finally gets to really sink her teeth into a big Hollywood movie, and I thought she did a really good job in this film. The movie opened in a way that I didn't expect. It actually opens with the event having already happened, and now we're in the meat of it. We're already seeing him with the media and public scrutiny, and we're trying to figure out what's going on. You would think a little more suspense would be built up in a movie like this, but at first it was a little jarring, like, oh, we're in it now, okay. And I was getting into it, and it was sort of almost like very procedural, and I liked that. I liked going through the facts and figuring out what was going on this day. I liked the fact that the movie wasn't just like, here's Sully, he's a hero. It was like, no, look at all these various things that could have happened. And this gives you a little more doubt, and it makes the story more interesting and more compelling. The issue for me came at the end of the first act. We get our first flashback sequence where we do actually go back and see the events that took place on that day. And for me to call it a flashback, I think is poor word usage on my part because it's like a 15-minute sequence. And then we go back to the present and we go back to the past again and we see things way in the past, like when he was first discovering his love of aviation. And it just didn't form a perfect whole for me. The minute you're getting into one time period, you go back to the past. The minute you're getting into that, you go back to the present. And I personally think this film would have been far more compelling if it just told it in chronological order. The film wisely understands that it needs to build up Sully as a character and not just rely on our knowledge of the news. So we get sequences where he's calling at home to his wife and children. His wife is played by Linney, and she doesn't really get to do much of anything except walk around a house and talk on the phone. The film needs to show that side of his life because it's important to understand that he's a married person, but it just doesn't really add up to anything beyond we need to show this because he is married and we have to have it in the film. These are issues that come with true stories being adapted to film because a film will try to be very theatrical and try to tell a story that's all very nice, and sometimes in real life you don't get those moments and it doesn't always translate to film perfectly. So I can't really downgrade the film for that just because Linney's character doesn't have a big arc or because of things like that, because if that's really how it was, then that's how it was and that's fine. My biggest issue with the storytelling is simply jumping all over time periods. I think if it had been in chronological order, as I said, it would have been more compelling. But nevertheless, because of Tom Hanks and Aaron Eckhart in this film, and Anna Gunn in particular, I think these performances really worked. Also, towards the latter half of the movie, when they're doing the hearings about whether or not he could have done something else, I was feeling very, very into it. And the film does have a good feeling of suspense. And for all of those reasons, I enjoyed Sully overall, and I'm going to give it a B. I recommend seeing this. I don't think you have to rush out and see it. I think it's a very good movie with good performances, but I do think it could have been great. Also, stay tuned this Sunday because I'm going to be continuing my Harry Potter series of reviews leading up to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, that's going to be this Sunday. Speaking of Harry Potter, look at that amazing figure behind me. I love it. It's an incredible Harry Potter figure. I want to thank the Big Bad Toy Store, one of the best online toy stores. I got that toy from them. I left a link for their store. It's a custom link that you can go through me and visit their store. So much awesome stuff and very good prices as well. I pre-order all my Hot Toys from them. So look forward to Prisoner of Azkaban on Sunday. Thank you so much as always for watching, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.